truce. There's only time for truth. No room for fair or regular cares. Stand clear of civilian affairs. Hold up, soldier, salute. If you're going up, salute. Throw it up, salute. Throw it up, salute. Soldier, salute. If you're going up, salute. Throw it up, salute. Throw it up, salute.
Shalom, family. All right. Matthew 24:14. I know that thy kingdom come does not say that, but I'll get into it. You see the so-called prophets trampling on the word. You see the zombies in the graveyard, and you see the false prophets on the side whispering. And you got their God. You got their God in the background. So-called white Jesus. There's a reason for that. Okay. They went all over the earth, and I'm gonna show you using facts. I had to grill AI. They went all over the earth propagating paganism and lies. I mean, anybody know the truth? They know. But but yeah, I'm here. Let me get on into it. Let's get into this verse. Matthew 24:14. All right. Wrong one. Okay. Let me do a sound check. All right. Now, Matthew 24:14. I'm going to show it. Y'all see it right there. This is an end time prophecy. The Messiah said it, right? All right. Now, let me start at 9 to get a better clarity. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. The Messiah was not talking to Christians right there. He wasn't talking to Europeans. Side note, okay? Now, how is it? All the nation hate the real Israelites, and we ain't done nothing to them. We didn't colonize their land. We are not causing coups in their land. We are not the reason why they are starving. But yet, for some reason, they hate us. It's in the word. But let me keep going. All right? And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. You know, there should be a false prophet check in rotation. You should be, I mean, it should be pastors, authentic pastors should be having sermons on a regular basis about false prophets and teachers. Regular. This is one thing we can't get wrong. All right. It should be in rotation. Shalom. Kia. I can't hardly pronounce that, but you know who I'm talking about. All right, now let's key into that. What are some ways that the false prophets shall arise? Right here, chapter 11. Okay, let me show you some ways they arise. All right. My notes ain't in order, y'all. I started early this morning, but all right, let me y'all bear with me. Ain't nothing else new. All right. They set up Bible cemetery schools. They are the false prophet factory. Okay? Think about it, family. Now, let me see here. How you got Bible colleges and don't nobody know the Father's name? You're not teaching them Hebrew. You're not teaching them the spirit of the book. Huh? How is it? Don't nobody know his name, but they serving the Most High. You're supposed to, don't you know your parents' name? You know, if your parents didn't leave you somewhere or you weren't adopted, don't you know your parents' name? But yet, it's okay to go to church and never learn about your father's name, and therefore you don't learn about your father's business. And even if you never know your father's name, if you study the word, you're going to learn your father's business. You can't separate the word from the Father. The Messiah is the word, the image of the invisible God. Let me show you. Let me show it to you. Let me show them to you. Oh, y'all can't see that. All right, Colossians 1:15. Let me get a little bit more. All right, let's give thanks to the Father, which have made us meet to be partakers in the inheritance of the saints' light. If you don't know the Father's name, that's darkness. Why don't you know? Okay, and I'm not beating you up. I had to learn this stuff. All right, who have delivered us from the power of darkness. We perish for a lack of knowledge. Wait a minute. Y'all can't see that. Hold on. Okay, y'all can't see that. Let me share my screen. Yep. Let me stop sharing. I got out of cycle some kind of way. All right. Nevertheless, we're gonna get it popping. All right. Let me go back. Okay, yeah, y'all can see that. Okay. We're going to get it cracking. All right. Giving thanks unto the Father, which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. In light. The knowledge and the participation of the true gospel. That's the only way the kingdom going to come. Is the true gospel be preached. Matthew 24:14. Let me put it right here right quick before I let me put it to you. Let me blow this up real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to the business. Matthew, pull up another Bible. 24:14. All right. Now, let me finish. Many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold. You got these Bible cemetery schools. The Roman beast Catholic system founded these schools. Now the love of many has grown cold. Now the pastor's wife can walk around looking just like the world. And the so-called Jamal take care of it. That ain't what the book say. There should be no confusion between somebody holy and unholy, clean and unclean, righteous and unrighteous. You shouldn't be camouflaged to somebody looking for the light. They should see your light. It shouldn't be camouflage. All right, now you got the step one. The Romans colonized. I'm gonna get into it later. The Romans usurped. The Romans infiltrated the true message. All right. They start pumping out false prophets in schools. Not only them, but you know, they conquered the earth. This is the fourth beast of Daniel, Revelation, Book of Ezra, Second Ezra, and the Apocrypha. All right. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. It don't say once saved, always. You got to endure. Okay, you got to endure. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then the end shall come. This gospel that they preach ain't the gospel of the Messiah. It's the gospel of the liars. So the real message got to go forth. We don't need no ships to go worldwide. We don't need no jets to go worldwide. I'm worldwide right now. He that have an ear, let them hear. We don't need no ships to go. We ain't got to beat people over the head and steal from them. We ain't got to take their life. We ain't got to say it's Catholic, it's Christianity or die. See, this is when the end is going to come. The real message got to go forth. Shabbat shalom. All right, Jim? The real message got to go forth. That's why they propagating the lie. They hiding the name. They hiding the Father. They hiding the people. They hiding the truth. If you do that, how the end gonna come in the mind of a devil? See, does it make sense? The real message, ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Ain't nothing. I couldn't stop the message going forth if I wanted to. I'm getting warm. Y'all forgive, I'm getting warm. But anyway, let me get back over here. I wanted y'all to see that. That's why I put Matthew 24, 14. The real message got to, it said, and this gospel, the Messiah, we're not talking about Catholicism, where in the Bible, period, that the Messiah said we supposed to go all over the earth, stealing, killing, pillaging, sexual abusing, and destroying everyone. Where is that at in the where? To spread the Messiah's message. Where is that at? The ones that did that spread lies. Okay? And they got a family tree. Let me see here. Let me see, can I pull it up? Now, this is the family tree. This is how you so-called got your Christianity. This is all the little splinters and branches. There it is right there. All of them come straight out of the Roman beast. People looking for the beast. At least you looking. See, at least you're watching. But follow that up with prayer. Watch and pray. At least you watching. But I want you to say on this. Okay? Now, giving thanks unto the Father which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who have delivered us from the power of darkness, have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As it is in heaven. What we got going on down here is not what the Most High wants. That ain't what's going on in heaven. All right, now. All right. To his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. This is talking about the Messiah, who is the image of the invisible Yah, Elohim, Allah, the firstborn of every creature. Now, me and the brothers was doing that lesson about the New Year's with an old lie, New Year's with an old lie. And Mashiach died on Passover. Right there in spring. You know, spring is a rebirth. The trees is dead and everything dead, and spring is a rebirth. But anyway, okay. For by him all things are created. All things are created. For by him were all things created that are in heaven, that are in earth, visible and invisible, by their thrones or dominions or principalities or power. All things were created by him. In the beginning, God said, let there be, and there was. The word became flesh. Let's go to it. John chapter 1. All right. In the beginning was the word. See that capital W right there. And the word was with God, and the word was God. The same in the beginning with God. Book of Genesis, chapter 1, let there be, and there was. The Most High's word created. I just read it to you in everything was made through him and by him. And Colossians 1:15. For by him were all things created. This is the Messiah. He is the image. I heard people say, I can't serve a God I can't see. I don't see this oxygen I keep sucking up, boy. This oxygen is good. Yeah, that oxygen is good, boy, but I can't see it, but I know it's there. I can feel it. So that ain't no excuse. There are certain spectrums of light that you can't see. Infrared. I punch a button on this remote. It's a beam of light going to that, communicating with that television. I can't see the light. It's invisible. That don't mean it ain't there. Okay? I'm just giving you 2 examples. There's many more examples. You can't see my thoughts until I act on them. When I act on my thoughts, the unseen becomes the seen. You can see what I believe. You can see what I've been meditating on. You can see what I'm dedicated to. All right. All right, now back to John 1. All right, let's go to John 1. All right. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same in the beginning. Thank y'all for putting them scripts up there. Appreciate it. Thank you, Arlene. Same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, not some things. So you want to know who's in control? Satan ain't in control. He ain't made nothing. How you going to be in control of something that don't belong to you? All right. There's other things going on in the bigger picture. All right. And without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Now, let me say loud on that. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Let me see here. Trying to get my thing blowed up. Let me hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Can't blow my screen up. But all right, let me see here. I ain't gonna. Okay, there it is. There it is. All right. Now, let me go back down a little bit. I think it's a little glitch in the system. All right. Now, in him was life. Okay. Where was the life at when they went all over the earth colonizing in the name of white Jesus? Where was the life at? Huh? Life is light. I just read it to you. Where was the life at? That's why you got them zombies up there walking around, the so-called living dead. They think they're alive. I'm not mocking them. My patience is thin with those that want to kill us. My patience is real thin, but I'm well reserved. Okay. Where is the life in stealing the property? Huh? Where is the life in hiding the real image of the Messiah? Where is the life in that? You will know a tree by its fruit. Look at them dead trees up there. How appropriate it is for the season. They talk about this a new year. They talk about this new life with dead trees everywhere, dead grass, the dead of winter. You understand? But that's that lie IQ that they be talking about. But all right, you got the so-called Roman casket prophets. Understand? And you got your bootlicking, buck dancing Negroes treading down the gospel. Right there, lockstep with them because they in Master's army. Treading down the word. Anytime you don't preach the word and you hide and watering down, pouring water on it, you trampling it down under feet. That's what you're doing with it. You're better off closing the Bible down and putting it down pushing it to the side. You're still gonna go to hell, but you're gonna accumulate. You're gonna accumulate more punishment. That everybody ain't getting a one punishment fit all punishment. Some people gonna get punished worse than others. But anyway, if you want to live with the Father, you want to live forever. In Him was life, and that light was that life was the light of men. Let me see here. Let me add this, and let me go back. All right, now. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness. The truth is shining in them dead lies that they tell it. That's why you want to hide the truth. That's why you get mad at the truth. All right? And the darkness comprehended it not. Now it's getting into John. And those telling the truth is bearing witness of the light. Okay, let me pull up another verse. I didn't have this in my notes. All right, John 3:19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light. Why? Because they love doing evil. Shalom, Kanal. Shalom. Y'all know something else? That image of white Jesus is a image of the beast. If that image of white Jesus is a image of the beast. You go through the Bible, precept, the beast of Rome, the fourth beast in the book of Daniel. They gave us that image. You read the scripture, you don't see that the scripture don't give no description of that fella, unless you're talking about the beast. The scripture says he got hair like a wool and feet like burnt brass. But this is what we got. This is what we got right here. I don't see no wool and no brass. Okay? But let me get back to the word. All right, let me get back on here. All right, now. Yeah, they beat that into us. That's that slave doctrine. Let me see. I got it. All right. Let me see. 2 Corinthians 6:15. Let me see what I got. I don't know why I wrote it. It was this morning when I wrote it. Let me see here. 6. I know when I read it. I'll tell you that. Ain't no 6:15. That ain't Corinthians. That's going to be Colossians probably. Let me see here. I think that's going to be Colossians. Okay. Okay, 6:14. Okay, 6:14. I wrote it down wrong. Yeah, this is what I wrote down. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. All right, I get it. Let me put it up on the screen so I don't forget. Put it on the screen so I don't forget. All right, now. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? Constantine the emperor, the Roman emperor, mixed darkness with light and got more darkness. Let me see here. John 5:43. Let me see here. John 5. There you go. Now, the Messiah got the Father. He also has the name of the Father. I am come in my Father's name. Second Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, pray, and seek that and turn and seek thy face. Second Chronicles 7:14. They quote that scripture all the time. All right. And ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name. If I see what you're saying now, Kaya. I see exactly. If another shall come in his own name, who this fella right here? Who is this? Who this? Whose man is this? Come in his own name, own image, and likeness of the beast. Whose man's is this? I see why you put that script up there. Whose man is this? All right. Now, while we on the subject of that, let's see here. I'm gonna start going through my tabs now. Now I did a search, and it said the first slave ship to arrive in what is now the United States was the White Line. I thought it was Jesus, but I think it landed in the Caribbean. All right, these are Christians now. I thought the Bible said, the Bible said in the Messiah is life. But when these people show up, stuff start dying, death, hell, and destruction follow. Like the four horses of the apocalypse. All right. They look back 401 years after the first slave ship arrives in America. All right. As we approach the anniversary of the first slave ship arrival in America, we look back at the historic event and its continued effects on today's fight for racial justice and freedom. Anytime you see a PWI, predominantly white institution, they just talking. They ain't gonna do nothing about it, but we'll take the information, okay? Or maybe somebody got good intentions, wrote this article, okay? All right. But what you gonna do about it? All right. In August 1619, the first English slave ship landed in Jamestown, Virginia, making a turning point for the entire nation. All right, but I ain't want to get on that. These are the Catholics, y'all. These are the Romans. All right, but I did a follow-up. Let me see here, make sure I'm at the right spot. Okay, yeah. All right, and I asked the good ship Jesus. I got more specific because I know the ship it exists. So I did a follow-up question search. The good ship Jesus, also known as the Jesus of Lubbock, was one of the first English slave ship involved in the transatlantic slave trade. This ship came before the White Line. Let me go back to that. Y'all see that? Let me read it. Captained by Sir John Hawkins. Y'all know the one that's talking about some Amazing Grace. Talking about Amazing Grace. All right. It participated in several voyages to transport enslaved West Africa to the New World in the 1560s. Okay. It got here in the 1560s. Well, when did the White Line get here? Because it sounds like somebody lying. This is 1619 right here. This is 1619. The White Line came. But White Jesus ship, the 1560s. Maybe it was in the area. Maybe it was like Columbus in the Americas. All right. The good ship Jesus, also referred to as Jesus, is recognized as one of the first English slave ship involved in the transatlantic slave trade under Sir John Hawkins. Let me make sure. I don't want to lie on John Hawkins. I think he the one. Let me see here. I might have my oppressors mixed up. Is it Hawkins or Hopkins? Hawkins. Okay, hold on. It was John. It said John Newton. It said John Newton. Okay. It said John Newton. Okay. I'm gonna leave it alone. I got my oppressors mixed. Even though I don't care for now one of them, I ain't gonna lie on them. You understand? I ain't gonna lie on them. We ain't gonna do like they do. We gonna let the truth prevail. But let's see here. Let me look up some images. There you go. Okay. All right. They said now I'm seeing it. Okay, but all right. This is it. This is the Catholics. Okay, they produce the ships. They produce the laws. They are the Romans. They are the same people that had our people in captivity when the Messiah was on the earth, and we allowed him to be crucified, which is why we catching hell now. Okay, not gonna put it all on them, but when you lying and leading folks astray with your propaganda, the balance got to be the balance of the scales got to be balanced. When you pumping out false prophets in your universities to keep people mentally enslaved, something the scales gonna be balanced. This stuff got to be mowed down. The truth got to be told. That's why you got a bunch of people walking around like zombies. The literal walking dead. People are going to hell right through the church door. The church, the ones that's not preaching the truth, are literally the doorway into hell. That people are going to hell right through the church door. All right. Let me get back up here. Let me see here. All right. Now let's see right here. Now it said I asked the question, who established the first seminary schools? All right. The first formal seminary was established by the Catholic Church, the Roman beast. I don't care if you put Roman Catholic up there. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. You look at the fruit of the tree, and it's a dead tree producing rotten fruit. Death follows these folks. They even got demons on the church called gargoyles. Let me put that up there. Why you got demons on your church? Huh? What communion does light have with darkness? You're supposed to be propagating pure holiness and righteousness, but somewhere deep inside your soul, demons are coming out. Demons is coming out. Legions of demons. You know, legions is like a Roman military. You got an army of demons. They got to come out because they in you. What's in you gonna manifest itself out. I can see what you're thinking. I can see what you hold true and value in the treasure of your heart when it come out of you. See, but yeah, they set up the Bible cemetery schools. And propagating lies. Okay, right here. All right. The first form of seminary school was established by the Roman Catholic Church. All right. Following the Council of Trent, there's a bunch of Europeans getting together talking about a book that they didn't write. Just like they do together. A bunch of Europeans got together and decided who was going to steal what out of Africa. What was the name of the thing they got together? What was the name of that? What did they call that? when they got together, the Berlin Conference, a bunch of devils got together and figured out how they were going to steal, kill, and destroy. These Roman devils got together, and then you want to make fun of the Africans because they in the situation that you created. The Berlin Conference. All right. It says the Berlin Conference, Africa's partition and the birth of Pan-Africanism. If you can believe it, white folks started it, it ain't gonna benefit us none. All right. In the winter of 1884, European diplomats gathered in the grand drawing rooms of Berlin to divide the African continent among themselves. Just like at this conference right here, they got together, they got together at the Council of Trent. The same thing. They're getting together and figure out which way they gonna put this false gospel out here, aiming to standardize clergy education, though earlier informal training existed, like Paul's school in Ephesus. I ain't gonna challenge that because I don't know nothing about it, but Paul was teaching. I don't know about no St. Mary's. All right, this is your colonizers right here. St. Mary's Seminary in Baltimore was the first Catholic seminary, while Andover Theological Seminary was an earlier Protestant one. Ain't it amazing? Let me find this. Ain't it amazing? Ain't it amazing how all these, ain't it amazing, y'all? These churches can't agree on, they can't agree on one thing. They agree on white supremacy. They got different doctrinal in the way they believe, but all of them believe in white Jesus, white supremacy, white history, whitewashing. I ain't necessarily got a problem with white history, but tell the truth. Whitewashing. Don't y'all find that suspicious? They can't agree on much, but they can agree that Negro got to stay down, got to stay oppressed, got to stay in captivity, got to stay poor. All of them. Ain't that amazing, y'all? Let me move on. What is the oldest Bible seminary school in America? This is Protestant. They believe in slavery too. If you're not teaching the true message of the Bible, then you are participating. See, you are participating. All right. I'm just showing you another. This is why Matthew 24:14, the real message got to go forth. Then thy kingdom come. Then thy will be done. Then on earth as it is in heaven. The real message got to come forth. It's going to come forth. They don't want it to come forth. That's why they done edited the Bible. They done removed books. They done whitewashed the names. They done put themselves in the book. It ain't working. Give it up. Give it up. It ain't working. All right, I don't need to go over that. I don't need to go over that. Now, let me see here. Let me play this little video. Ain't no sound, is it? Yeah, it's sound. All right. Don't y'all forget about that Islam. How is it? How is it they get along with the Islamics so good? Ask yourself that. Israel over there, they over there attacking their fellow so-called Muslim brothers and sisters over there, slaughtering them. But the so-called, they got the same faith. The Muslims over there is crickets, is chirping. Part of the Roman Empire turned into the Islam. Now, I noticed something, the age of discovery. Columbus discovered America with people living in it. That's them Catholics. That's them so-called Christians. There go your Berlin Conference right there. They slicing up Africa. I thought, what I know. The Ten Commandments said, "Thou shalt," you shouldn't have no other God before the Most High. They got their own God. The Ten Commandments, it said, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal." You over there stealing, killing. How you spreading the gospel? Matthew 24:14. How you spreading it according to the Messiah's word when you ain't living it? That's because you the beast the Bible speaks of. All right. Now, I ask AI, is Christianity the beast spoken of in the Bible? It gave a pretty decent answer that I couldn't knock against. It said no. It's not the beast spoken of in the Bible. The beast in the book of Revelation refers to a figure often interpreted as the Antichrist or a symbol of corrupt political and religious power opposing God. That's the very definition of what the Christians did. The only reason why I didn't really rail against that, because that's a new word, Christianity. What I'm saying is they consider what Paul and them, they consider them Christians. It's not true, but most people believe Paul wasn't a Christian. The Messiah didn't start, he didn't start Christianity. The Romans did. That's why I kind of halfway see why I put that answer there. But look at the rest of it, though. It said Christianity, but it is the ones, when I say Christianity, I'm talking about the wicked folks that's not living the word. That's what I'm talking about. The beast of Rome. Okay? But it definitely, this answer really is wrong. Christianity is not the beast spoken of in the Bible. The beast in the book of Revelation refers to a figure. Now, this is trying to put it on one person. This is trying to put it on one person. Where is that at in the Bible? Show me in the Bible where the beast is one person. The book of Daniel is talking about a whole nation. It's talking about a whole kingdom. Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom was a whole kingdom. Okay, the Medes and the Persians, a whole kingdom ruling the earth. The Greeks, a whole kingdom. The Romans, a whole kingdom engulfing the whole earth. But somehow they're going to reduce it down to one person. Same people ruling. You're right. They wasn't right. They didn't start the Messiah. Paul and them and the disciples didn't start Christianity. Okay. One figure now, often interpreted as the Antichrist, are a symbol of corrupt. Now they're trying to get into allegories. Are a symbol of corrupt political and religious power opposing God. We got that now. Every government in the Western nation, all the governments of the world are opposing the Most High. How can I say that so boldly that every nation that is on earth right now is opposing the Most High? What I mean government when I said nation. Because when he comes, he's going to destroy every nation. Why would you destroy a nation that's doing your work? I'm talking about government. Not talking about bloodline. Talking about government. All right, now, this is the question I ask. If Christianity spread while stealing, killing, and destroying, then how is it not a part of the beast? This is the question I ask the AI. The concept of the beast in Christianity, the beast reference in the, I'm not talking about reference. I'm talking about, I should have said the whole Bible. It cherry picked one book. This is coming from them cemetery schools. That's what this is coming from them cemetery prophets. All right. The beast reference in the book of Revelation is widely interpreted. Who's interpreted? As a symbol of opposition to God's will. So it stealing, killing, and destroying is not opposition to the Most High will. Then why is he going to send people to hell for it then? You see the contradiction. It, as a symbol of opposition, it's a symbol. It's a symbol. This can be a symbol. Copper cup. Inside and out. Make sure your cup inside and out copper. Not copper on the outside. That way you can get your copper out your cup. But anyway, of opposition to God's will often associated with corruption, deceit, tyranny. This is what they're doing now. All right. Various interpretations exist regarding the identity. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay, I asked another. I didn't read all that because it ain't being forthcoming. Stealing, killing, and destroying while removing books of the Bible is the beast. Is the beast who gave birth to Christianity. Now it's conceding. Because I was direct with it. Stealing, killing, and destroying while removing books of the Bible is the beast who gave birth to Christianity. I'm telling it direct. If it's not true, then debunk it. It said the phrase stealing, killing, and destroying invokes things found in the Bible in connection to the beast. The computer just admitted that the beast is going around stealing, killing, and destroying according to the Bible. So how you gonna spread the gospel according to Matthew 24:14 and you doing the exact opposite? You ain't. Therefore, the real pure message has not been widely spoken. Then the end gonna come. All right, let me move on. That's all the branches of white supremacy. Now, this is another testament. The number one religion worldwide is Christianity. The Bible told us it was coming. Book of Daniel, 2nd Ezra. The Bible told us it was coming. If you don't believe the Bible, I don't know what to tell you. History testifies to it. History is testifying to the Bible. All right? My job is to articulate the message. That's my job. All right. Christianity is the largest religion in the world, over 2 billion followers. So, the original Christians, I'm not talking about Paul and the disciples because they were not Christians. I'm talking about the Catholics. They went all over the earth stealing, killing, and destroying. So it's got all these followers. You try to tell them that your wife shouldn't be looking like she's naked. Jamal, they following the Christian doctrine. You tell them that the 10 Commandments said, remember the Shabbat and keep it holy. They following Christianity that says Sunday is the new Sabbath. And Islam is number 2. All right. I'm going to close some of these tabs, y'all. Hold on. Close that out. Now, are Western nations modern day Rome? I'm asking the computer. All right. Let me see here. Western nations are often compared to ancient Rome. Why? Due to their shared cultural, political, and legal legacy. But they are not direct continuations of Rome. I know they ain't. You know how I know they are not direct continuations of Rome? Rome failed. The beast that had the womb and did heal. You're right. It was not a continual rulership. That ain't what I asked, though. Just because you failed don't mean you didn't get back up. Instead, they have evolved from various influences. Remember, Daniel chapter 2 said it was going to be a divided kingdom. All these different nations are parts of Rome. Let me see here. I got it up here. Y'all bear with me. All of these different kingdoms. Look here. These are languages that come from the Latin. French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Romanian. These languages was birthed out of Latin. The Roman rulers, ruling class. Okay? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? All right, let's see here. Comparison of Western nations to ancient Rome. I'm not sure, Brenda. I know Rome was in trouble when Nero was ruling, and they blamed it on Negroes. Rome was burning down, and they blamed black Israelites. Kind of like what they do today. Blame the Negro. It's kind of like what they do today. Let's see here. Now, I know I had something up here. I'm going to just do it again. Hold on. Nations with a Roman-style government countries that have adopted element of Roman-style government include the United States of America. Why am I not surprised? Remember, you turn your dollar over, Ordo Noros Seclorum, New World Order, written in Latin, the Roman language. All right, there. And many other democracies that utilize a system of representative government. where citizens elect representatives to make decisions on their behalf. This structure is inspired by Roman Republic model of government, which emphasized elected officials in a Senate-like body. This is bearing witness to the Bible that the fourth beast gonna be here to Mashiach. Burn it to the ground. Yes, those of you that believe in the Bible, look up, for our redemption draws near. Look up. All right? The Most High is walking it like the Bible talks it. All right, now. This is the countries. The Roman Republic, 507-27 BC, established a government system that influenced many nations. Why? Because they colonized, okay? It was characterized by a mixed constitution, combining elements of democracy and oligarchy. Citizens elected representatives and the Senate held significant power. Look, modern nation is inspired by Roman government. Let me translate for you. Nations that are modern day Rome, out in the open. United States, France, Italy, Brazil, Mexico. It didn't name all of them, and I'm gonna prove it to you that it didn't name all of them. I'm gonna prove it to you. I noticed Australia, United Kingdom, and wasn't in the list. I said, let me see here. Nations which have Roman style government, how many? And it says, it's basically going over what I just read. And then I said Australia, United Kingdom, and New Zealand have Roman style governments as well. But somehow that didn't make the memo. That didn't make the memo. It said I was right. Did I mess it up? Hold on. Oh, okay, right here. You are correct that Australia, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand also exhibit elements of government that can be traced back to the Roman political principle. Then why didn't it name it? Y'all see what you got to do? You see what you got to do to get the truth out of this AI? Because it will tell a lie. But anyway, let's go to Daniel right quick. Let's bring this home. Let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 2. Daniel 2. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you're right. That's how it was programmed. All right. Is it Daniel chapter 3? Hold on. This is the fourth kingdom. We're in the fourth quarter. The fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, inasmuch as iron break in peace and subdue all things. That's how come Trump don't think nothing about going to Venezuela, kidnapping the president. Don't nobody need the United States input in nothing unless you this fourth beast that's running the show. Don't nobody need the United States input in nothing. They showing you who's ruling, who's running things. All right. Break it and subdue all things as much as iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise. And where is thou saw the 10 toes? Saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided. That's how you got a Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, United States, France, Italy. It's divided. The landmass is divided. That's how they go down there in Africa and divide it up. See. But that shall be in the strength of the iron, for as much as thou saw of iron mixed with miry clay, and the toes, and as the toes and feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Okay. Now, whereas thou saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Colonialization. All over the earth, stealing lands, killing people, and leaving a trail of destruction. Oh, y'all can't see that. All right. All right. But they shall not cleave to one another. You got racism. And who wants to cleave with a people that doesn't colonize and stole your property? Huh? Who wants to cleave to people that don't do nothing but steal, kill, and destroy? How you gonna cleave to that? In order for me to cleave and believe to some thieves, I got to have low self-esteem and no love for myself. Okay, yeah, okay. Let me see. These kings. Now, and the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up his kingdom. Look up, for your redemption draw nigh. I'm not worried about what they got going on over there in Iraq. I'm not worried about what they got going on with China, Russia. I'm not worried about none of that stuff. How much more danger am I in worrying about being attacked from another nation when these folks got police right here attacking us on a daily basis? Huh? What difference is it? Why should I worry about how they feel about me when I know the truth of the matter is it don't matter what I do, they're going to feel the same about me. But anyway, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand for the Messiah. The Most High's kingdom going to destroy this stuff. He's destroying every nation and putting his kingdom there. All right, let me go through my let me see here. Let me go through my make sure go through, take some of these stuff down. Okay, I didn't share this. I didn't share this. Let me go back through this. Okay, I can still share it. Okay. Now, did Constantine merge paganism with Christianity? I use Christianity because, lack of a better word, look at what it said. Constantine did not. It's a yes or no question, y'all. Either Constantine merged paganism with the gospel or he didn't. It's yes or no. All this hemming and hawing and filibustering and stammering and all this. Constantine did not officially. It's a yes or no. He didn't officially. Okay. Merged paganism with Christianity, but he allowed some pagan practices to be continue while promoting Christianity. If you are the ruler and you call yourself a Christian, when I'm saying Christian this time, a liver of the gospel, of the real gospel of the Messiah and the disciples, and you allow paganism to go on, yes, you mixed it. You the ruler. But all right, leading to a gradual transition rather than an abrupt change. Now, what they're saying is Constantine, he allowed paganism and Christianity to grow together. How did that work out, family? How did that work out? Who won? Let me give you some clues. You had the pagans celebrating on Christmas just like the Christians because they're pagans. Their roots go back to paganism. That's just the fact of the matter. Pagans and so-called Christians celebrating Christmas on Christmas Day. Pagans and Christians celebrating Halloween. Pagans and Christians celebrating Easter. The Christian colonizer changed it from Passover to Easter, which is a pagan ritual. So the pagans won. Okay? Leading to a gradual transition rather than abrupt change. His policies aim for tolerance and civic unity. Yeah, because he's running the government. He's running a kingdom. He don't need the people fighting, which meant that elements of both religions coexisted for a time. Now, this is the question I asked. Did Constantine's gradual approach for pagan lead to pure holiness? This is the question I asked. Constantine's gradual approach toward integrating pagan practices with Christianity did not necessarily lead to what would be defined as pure. This is yes or no question. It's no. Did not necessarily. We know it. We know it didn't lead to pure holiness because of what we're looking at today. You can't tell the so-called Christians from the people of the world. Okay? Instead, this policy allowed for a blend of beliefs, which argued diluted the essence of Christianity. Okay. This is another edict where you had a bunch of colonizers. You might have had a few Sellites up in there getting together how they're going to manipulate the word. But let me move on. Now, is Christian, I ask this question, see if they're going to tell the truth. Is Christianity absorbed? I asked, did Christianity mixed with paganism? We know it is. It has absorbed paganism. Okay? Yeah. Now I threw this in there. Beware of these Red Cross. Beware of Europeans. Beware, period. Just beware. These people use Red Cross. You know, they're supposed to be neutral. They use them to gather intel for their enemies. Look here. Has the Red Cross ever been used for intelligence? During World War II, there's evidence that German spies, I know the United States use it too, does it too, use the Red Cross as a cover for espionage. Today, they are using Catholic missionaries to keep the people poor in Africa. They are doing the same thing now. Okay? The U.S. recruited missionaries. Look, what is the mission? It shows like the truth. It shows like the pure, unadulterated gospel. It ain't the word according to the Messiah and the disciples, according to the Most High will. It ain't that. Their mission is to keep the Roman Empire in power. Okay? Did the Roman Catholic Church use missionaries to help colonize lands? I know this was true. Doggone Columbus was a Catholic. He colonized. They just this is a Catholic book. Look. Yes, the Catholic Church used missionaries as part of the colonization effort. So you can't be mad when North Sentinel Island kills anybody that stepped foot on their island. Y'all remember the North Sentinelese? They killed this Asian missionary. I ain't mad at them. If the Most High got a message to reach North Sentinel Island, he will send one of the Malachim. He'll send one of the angels. If he got a message to give to them, who's to say he ain't? Who's to say that the Most High ain't sent a messenger? I ain't mad at them. They told that man, don't go over there. Leave them natives alone. Every land these folks went to that were natives, y'all see what happened. They gave the natives the lies in their so-called Bible, and now they got their lands. They in power, running the show. All right, family. Shalom. Any questions? Any special requests on the outro? Let me see here. This is a good time for holy right here. This is a good time for holy. Be ye holy, for your Father which is in heaven is holy. Holy today, holy tomorrow, holy forever. All right? I ain't got that one no more, but I'll re-upload it, Kenah. I'll redo it. I ain't got that one, but I'll redo it. Shalom. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all be holy. And thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right.
About your goodness, Yeshua, and what you've done for me. Oh, I don't deserve anything you've done for me, and I don't deserve that you laid your life for me. Over and over, I let you down. Over and over, you stayed around. Unconditionally, you keep on loving me, loving me. That's why you are so holy. That's why you are holy. That's why you are holy. Oh yeah, you are holy. I'm calling you Yah the mighty. You are Yah the mighty. Heaven ain't going to heaven, ain't going to heaven. You better watch your mouth when you're talking about who it is you reppin'. There are crazy people who seduce you for your soul. Everything that glitters don't always turn to gold. Whoa. Sometimes it's hard to believe when you're going through it. Trying to give my very best, so I'm trying to keep the faith. I know you got my back, I don't have to worry. You don't ever sleep, 'cause you are holy. You are holy. You are holy. Yahweh holy. And you're also Almighty. You are so holy.